Have you ever had a place from your childhood that felt like more than just a place? For literally thousands of kids over nearly 4 decades, that place was a summer camp. And it wasn't just about the cabins and the campfire songs. It was a real touchstone for community, for growth, and for memories that would last an absolute lifetime.
And this really gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? We send our kids off for the summer, but what are they really coming back with? We're going to explore that very question through the story of a very, very special day camp that, believe it or not, provided the answer for almost 40 years.
I mean, think about it. After a whole school year cooped up inside, there's just this fundamental need for kids to get out, to run in a field, to explore a creek, to just notice the clouds. This escape into the great outdoors is the absolute foundation for everything that makes summer camp so vital.
So why is this experience so much more than just a simple summer break? Well, it's because it's a unique environment that's literally designed for holistic growth, It touches on parts of a child's life that the classroom sometimes just can't.
Okay, let's dive into this because it's so important. It really boils down to the 6 pillars of growth. It all starts with the thrill of new adventures, right? And that just naturally opens the door to forming new relationships. From there, kids start to learn new skills, which builds their maturity and, of course, their self-esteem. And holding it all together is this foundation of learning to trust, trusting others and trusting themselves in a totally new environment.
And that, my friends, brings us to the heart of our story, Camp Whippoorwill. It was founded and run by the beloved Mr. and Mrs. Whippoorwill. And this camp, it wasn't just a business. No way. It was a passion project that shaped generations of children through its totally unique philosophy and just unwavering dedication.
The journey this camp took was pretty incredible. It wasn't just tied to one piece of land. Starting way back in 1982, it adapted and it thrived across 4 different locations. It just goes to show, the magic was in its people and its purpose, not just the physical address. So what was their secret sauce? At its core, this was the mission. The camp was built on a foundation of faith and a really deep respect for nature. The goal was simply to create a space where every single child felt safe enough to try something new, whether that was fishing for the very first time or just making a new friend. And this motto, where children are children. It's so simple, but wow, it just captures everything. It speaks to a world of freedom and play, a place where all the pressures of the school year just melted away and kids could simply be. All right, so with that amazing philosophy as their North Star, the camp created a world of unforgettable activities. I'm talking about the kind of magical moments that become the stories kids tell for the rest of their lives. Adventure was absolutely everywhere. On the water, kids weren't just splashing around. They were learning real skills, gaining confidence with every single paddle stroke in a kayak or a canoe, and connecting with nature in a very direct, hands-on way. This image right here, it just captures that pure, unstructured joy of camp. It wasn't all about formal lessons. Some of the most important moments happened totally spontaneously, just cooling off, making connections, and being surrounded by the sounds of summer. And just look at this incredible range of activities. There was something for every single child. I mean, you could be an archer in the morning, a leather craftsman after lunch, and then a gem miner in the afternoon. You could build a fairy garden, ride a little train through the woods, or go looking for minnows. The variety was just astounding. It's the little traditions that often stick with us the most, isn't it? Imagine this. No matter what kind of day you had, good, bad, whatever, you knew for sure that it would end with a snow cone. And on Fridays, a chocolate fountain. These simple, consistent moments of joy created such powerful, shared memories for everyone. But as amazing as all those activities were, the real magic of Camp Whippoorwill, well, it came from its people. So we're shifting gears now from what the campers did to the community that made it all possible in the first place. The camp had this really brilliant structure. You had the experienced senior staff providing the foundation, but the volunteer junior counselors, and get this, many of them had been campers themselves, they were called the heartbeat of the camp. They were close enough in age to the campers to be these incredible, relatable mentors, and that created this powerful cycle of leadership.
This story, it just says it all. Mrs. Whippoorwill's mother, known to everyone as Grandmother Whippoorwill, was a daily presence at camp until she was 98 years old. And she personally sewed a colorful gem bag for every single child. This wasn't just a camp, it was a multi-generational family. And that family spirit was just reinforced through these amazing traditions. Every single day began with everyone gathered together singing "This is the Day."
and every week ended on the bus with Mr. and Mrs. Whippoorwill leading a chorus of happy trails. These songs literally bookended the experience, binding everyone together.
Of course, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. After nearly 40 years, the physical camp finally closed its gates. But as we're about to see, the legacy of a place like this is about so much more than just its location.
So what happened? Well, the end came due to forces of nature and history, really. Catastrophic flooding from Hurricane Florence in 2018 dealt a major blow, and then the logistical challenges brought on by the global pandemic in 2020 just made continuing the physical camp insurmountable.
But here's the thing. What did the campers take with them? The lessons were just profound. They learned respect for others and for nature. They learned leadership, how to share, the importance of giving, and the joy of volunteering. These are values that don't just fade away. They translate directly into creating better communities.
And sometimes the impact was deeply personal and, well, unexpected. A newspaper article once featured the prominent evangelist Leighton Ford with that very headline. For him, and for countless others, camp was a place of foundational, spiritual, and personal discovery. It's just incredible. Which brings us to our final question, right? What happens to the spirit of a place like Camp Whippoorwill? How does its influence keep rippling forward through time, long after that last song has been sung? You know, maybe the answer lies in this beautiful thought from Walt Whitman. The legacy isn't in the buildings or the land. It's carried in the hearts of thousands of former campers who learned to grow in the open air, who carry those values of respect and leadership, and who continue to share the light they first discovered on a summer day at camp.